Greetings, greetings, greetings. Yes, one time for your holy mind. Back in the house again. Yes, I got some powerful things, to share today. Yeah. I want to make sure, I help some people out in this situation right here because it's like we don't understand our spiritual psychology and what's really going on in metaphysics, because it's like we fall in so many trends and so many stuff, and it's crazy. And we find ourselves bombarded by all the world information, and we losing sight of what this journey is all about. It's like we don't lost sight on it, So we gotta wake up to the real reality, the true reality. That's our reward, if you will, down here. But in order to get to that promised land, we got to go through a process. We got to go through all the chakra systems, all of them, in order to ascend the right way. And a lot of people don't understand it, but I use the Bible to illustrate through the stories of the Bible how powerful and awesome we are. And our mind is connected to the divine mind. That's the most wonderful thing and the most beautiful thing it is, because we connected to the source. And once we understand that everything down here on earth is working for our good to ascend back to the source on which we came, then we're going to be better off. See, we're taking this thing too serious to the point we following any information because we desperate. We desperately want to know. You're trying too hard. And when you're trying too hard, that desperation, you pushing everything that you need and desire away from you. The transformation in the process is not yours to orchestrate. The process belongs to the divine mind, the Godhead. And once we understand this, we'll understand how to just simply let go. Just let go. And when you let go, things in your life is going to change for the good. Change is always for the good. I don't care what stage or position you hold in life. When you let go and let the divine mind lead you and guide you, you're going to be better off for it. Yeah, that's real. And so today, we dealing with the darkness of Egypt. And I tell people, we got all kinds of different things inside of us, inside of our makeup. Egypt is one of them. It's in our solar plex chakra. It's inside of us. Now, Egypt represents a sun. And let me read it to you. The realm of substance and life. The realm of substance and life. The death of the body, consciousness. To unregenerate souls, it is the land of darkness and mystery. See, when the Bible talking about Egypt, what is basically telling you that you got a light in you. You got a powerful light because you are connected to the divine light, the divine source. You are a solar being, full of life, full of power. And when you understand that, you'll understand this darkness that we have to go through from time to time. I call it transformation, tribulation, because the word Egypt, it's a Coptic word. And it's talking about a land. In the Hebrew, call it Mezrahim, which means shut in, restraint, misery, tribulation, distress. And in this realm right here, we have tension and relaxation. Tension and relaxation. And what this does for us is bring us balance, equilibrium. And this whole universe is set up with balance. Because without the tension, there's no relaxation. And without the relaxations, there's no tension. So we need these opposite forces to operate within us, around us, and through us. Because this is what brings about a change in our central nervous systems and give us spiritual growth, mental growth, physical growth. Without these polar opposites, there's no growth down here. It's already set up divine law. And when we go through things, we hit a dark place in our life, and everything seems like nothing is working out. All things are just crumbling in before us. We just can't hold on to things, and people is accusing us, and things are happening. All these things taking place. Well, here's the thing. If you stop resisting, if you stop resisting and let it do what it do, let it do what it do. You got to understand that it's a process of going back to the source with a changed soul, mind filled with wisdom. You got to go through this process. Ain't no way around it. So when we hit that dark spot, the Bible say, count it all joy. That's when you need to be in your joyous state, optimistic, pass the test, the turbulence. Trouble don't last always. And see, when you sitting around and you moping, trying to figure a way out, trying to go through all this, it's just like this. It's just like this. If you ever seen a clip with one of them big anacondas the pythons, when they grab another animal, say they get a deer, and long as that animal is laying there still, it won't do nothing. It won't tighten up. But as soon as that animal move a little bit or shift a little bit, it just twists a little harder. So you need to be still in your consciousness. Stay steadfast. Walk by faith, confidence, conviction. You got to hold on to this point because you transformating. You going to the next chakra, which is the heart chakra. You moving upward. And we all got to go through these things. We all have to go through them. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When you're going through a dark place, this realm they call Egypt. It's a physical Egypt, typical that parts of the body below the diaphragm, these various places brought upon the Egyptians by the Lord through Moses, or symbolic, represented of what occurs in the part of the organs when the presiding intelligence operates the influx of the higher life. And what it's basically saying is trying to tell you, listen, this is an operation got to take place within you. You cannot inhale and then don't exhale. You're going to die. You can't hold your breath for long. So when these things are going on within you, there is a change that's taking place. And the answer to these changes is to be still and let it do what it do. Because the solar plex, it's got many functions, but it's the vital center of the organism, which is, when they speak of organism, they talking about us. We the organism to which the subconscious mind connects with the physical body. The solar plex is a large nervous center laying back of the pits of the stomach, and it controls the activities of the stomach. Now here's the thing, scientific fact, the nervous endings that is in your intestines and in your stomach is the same identical nerve endings that is in your brain. True facts. And these things that we experience through the solar plex is a storing place for energy. That's why they call it solar plex, because that's where energy gets stored at. Mental energy, physical energy, and spiritual energy. It's connecting you to the outer world. This is what the matrix is made of, the nervous system. And when people understand this, they'll try to find that balance. I told you the tension make you feel all jittery, make you start feeling a certain way. And when you come to a place where you relax, no matter what's going on around you, no matter what is happening in your life, you find yourself at a perfect peace that surpasses all understanding, then therefore you're going to be able to elevate. But if you let the tension win and you give over to the tension, you got to repeat that class. You got to repeat it. You got to repeat it. And that's what we got to get to. We got to gain spiritual knowledge of true righteous thinking, right thoughts about the true reality. And we can't let appearances hinder us from getting there. See, appearance is what make it seem like it's so tough, so rough, so hard. But if you just relax while you're going through it, that's why all the people always went off and meditated. That's why they always was praying. Because it gave them a peace. That's why the philosophers always sat by themselves and just looked off in the heavens. And you think they daydreaming. But they in a perfect peace. Because they know the turbulence that is going on around them can make them or break them. And they choose the higher self to relax, knowing that this too shall pass. They know they ain't gonna be in it forever. They already know it. Why? Because experience work patience. It work patience. When you experience some things in life and you reach back in the moment and understand, hey, I done been through this. This is what the outcome gonna be. I need to just relax and let it do what it's gonna do. Because the divine mind always have you in mind in order to work the good for you. Because it does not want to leave anybody behind. And it will not. It wants us to ascend the proper way. It wants us to get the full potential that we need to live on this planet. Its purpose is grace for our life. But so many people, we off key. We off key to that point. We off key to that point. And so when you deal with Pharaoh, Pharaohs is the leaders or the kings of the Egyptians in the book of the Bible. And what that mean is Pharaoh, the meaning of Pharaoh is king, the Ra, the sun. And he's over the solar plex. That's why it's solar. So Ra was a deity in the Egyptian mythology. And it was also in the Bible. The meaning, Pharaoh's meaning is the sun. He is the ruler of the solar plex, the sun center in the subconscious mind. This is obscurity or Egypt to the conscious mind. Listen, it's darkness to the conscious mind. It's got, let me go on and read some more. Pharaoh, the sons being in Egypt shows us that the light of the Son of Righteousness is veiled by our life on the lower or sense plane. So what it's telling us, when we so in tune with these five senses, when we so think that these five senses is the way life's supposed to be, this is the way it is, you missing the other half of the subconscious half, that it's a spiritual side to us. And when the five senses cover that light that shines in us, as within, so without. That's why all the things that you go through, all the things that you see, the light can't shine on it. Because you're so in tune and so caught up in these five senses that you forget the only way you can tap into the source is through mind. You can't tap in through the physical, the five senses. It don't make sense. The consciousness cannot comprehend it. You can only comprehend it through the subconscious of the spiritual dimension. Only through the spiritual dimension. The subconscious. But consciously, you can't catch it. You cannot. Subconsciously, you can tap into the spiritual realm. So what you thinking on the physical plane is covering the light. That's why they used to say back in the day, let your light shine. Let your light shine. Well, in order for you to let your light shine, you got to get to a point where it don't matter if I got it, it don't matter if I do. Either way, I'm successful. I'm prosperity. I am perfect in divine mind. You got to get to the point where the five senses is not controlling your being, but your subconscious and your mind, and is connected to the divine mind. That's where you got to be. And it's all through relaxation. It's all through relaxation. You got to lean more to relaxation to tension. Because if you lean, okay, this is how I go. When you start looking with the five senses, you start drifting to the tension. Because when the boss yell at you, now you're mad. Your wife ain't called you in 5 hours, now you're mad. Your job shut down, now you're mad. You ain't got enough money to pay this, now you're mad. You leaning towards that. So it's going to cause tension in your life. Whereas if you listen to the intuitive side, my wife ain't called me in 5 hours. I'm okay. My boss yelling at me. No problem. Money is lacking right now. I'm rich in the divine mind. This is the way you got to change your mind. That's why I call this show Spiritual Psychology. You got to change your mind in order to overcome these five senses. And it really ain't but one sense, and that touch, because all your senses touch something within your physical makeup. But you got to overcome this stuff. Relax. Don't panic. I remember back in the day, I used to have a belt and it had panic on it. Yeah. And I wanted them to panic when they see me. But now I ain't got nothing but love in my heart. But the thing is, what I'm trying to explain, what I am explaining, is we going through these things and we leaning over there to that tension in which we need to be finding peace. We supposed to be seeking that peace and relaxation when these things are occurring, and you'll go through it. Long as you lean to that tension, as long as you keep your focus on what is causing you problems, as long as you is putting your mind on the tension side, you're going to stay in that situation. And the darkness, instead of being 12 hours, is going to be 24 hours. See? So what we got to do is elevate our thoughts, elevate our minds to lean more to relaxing, no matter what occurred in our life. That's what even the Bible said. God made Pharaoh God over, made Moses God over Pharaoh. Why? Because in the metaphysics, Moses had to come down and bring information, ideals, and knowledge to the part of us, the subconscious side of us, that we can't comprehend the knowledge of the divine realm. So when we dealing with metaphysics, let me go to Moses. Let me show you who he is. Moses means to draw out or extract. And what these turbulent times or these dark times are designed for in your life is to bring the best out of you. Is to bring that divine goodness out of you, the divine power out of you. That's what it's designed for. And when you understand that you got to be on that relaxed level of thought in order for this thing to work, and you going through this thing smoothly, you got to stop fretting. You got to stop fretting when all the hell is going on around you. You got to stay in that Buddha pose and just stay humble. Because transformation, change always bring tension. I don't care what nobody say. If you don't went through a transformation, you seen the tension. And if you relaxed and just chill and let it do what it do, you came through it. And that's what you got to do. I don't care what nobody say. And that's why I use the Bible for the stories. The stories is for you to understand metaphysically the other side in order to empower yourself with right thinking. And when everything is going wrong around you, just sit still. That's where you need to meditate more. You need to walk in the park a little bit more. Just be still. Don't make no sudden moves. Because it's just like quicksand. You get in that quicksand and start moving, trying to get out of it, it's going to sink faster. But if you just sit still, you'll stay up until some help comes. That's what this thing for. That's what Egypt means. That's what Pharaoh means. A dark spot in your life, within your solar plex. Within your solar plex. In your chakra system. And when you can comprehend the light and the power that is in your solar plex and how you need it, and it's the substance that you need. Because in Egypt, it was a lot of substance. But you can't get the substance if you think you got to do it. It's just like this. If you look at a lion, he's in the prairie. He won't eat. Well, she won't eat because the lioness do the hunting. She chasing the gazelle. She chasing the gazelle. Running. When she slow down, the gazelle slow down. When she speed up, the gazelle speed up. This is what's going on within your thought process. If you slow your mind down by meditating and saying these 3 words, it don't matter to me.
Oh my God.
It don't matter to me. Why? Because you ain't letting it affect you. When you let it affect you, it's going to be more and more. The lion and the gazelle, when the lion get in the bush and start easing, crawling. He crawling. Guess what? He going to eat that day. He slowed it down. He relaxed. You show me somebody running 100 miles per hour is more relaxed than a person just walking. Which one is more relaxed? See, this is the mindset that we got to come up under in order to make it through this territory. Lean not to the right nor the left. Just walk. That's why I use the slogan, walk by faith. Not run. It didn't say run. It didn't say hurry up. It say walk by faith. Why? Because faith comes from the word confidence, certainty, sure. Why the hell I gotta run to get something when I'm certain it's already mine? Because everything in this universe is for man. And when we realize this, we'll stop running and pushing it away. That's why you're going through a dark place in your life. It's called discipline and maturity in the spirit, divine mind. See, when you understand all the Buddhist priests, they sit down and they meditate. All the Hindu gurus, they meditate. The mastermind, Jesus, meditated. Muhammad went in the cave, meditate. All the fire that's in the mind, they calmed it down. See, when you understand who you are and what you are and your capabilities, you'll get out of the way and let the process take place. See, people don't realize that it's a process. Okay, let me show you how I know it's a process. First of all, the sun come up every day. Every day, the sun come up. Then it get out of eyesight. The sun don't never stop working. See, we think because it's dark that the sun don't stop. No. Get your mind out of the craziness. The sun don't never stop going around. It don't never stop. When it's dark over here, it's sunshine over here. And when it's sunshine over here, it's dark over here. It's always in a process, progressing. No, never stop. So the system that we in is already set up. Now, if we the most important thing, because that's why the sun is doing what it's doing, because it's doing it for us. And if the sun is set up, then the invisible system that we need to operate through us, for us, it's already set up. You ain't got to do nothing. You try to do too much. Listening to this guru, listening to that guru, going to this church, believe in this, believe in that. Just be still and let it do what it do. It's already set up for us. We ain't got to reinvent the wheel. All this hustling and bust, I got to do this, got to do that. All you got to do is just think about it and then speak on it. You are the image, the likeness of the universe. You cannot be anything else because the power is within you. The power has a source. And the only way we can move power is through our mind. I don't care how many bricks you think you can tote. Let me see how many you can tote versus how many I can tote in my mind. And let's see which one get done. I bet you I'll wear you out in my mind faster than you will with your physical senses. All the biblical somebodies visit Egypt. Jesus went down to Egypt, Joseph, Abraham, Moses was born in Egypt, Joshua, all these, Aaron, all these people went to Egypt. Why? Because that's part of the system. You got to go through this tension to understand how to balance it out and be relaxed to gain your equilibrium. But you got to favor the relaxed portion. And you spiritually grow. Listen, without chaos, there is no order. We're dealing with dual polarity. Without chaos, order is no good. What do order have to straighten out? Nothing. So you got to have some turbulence or some tension in your life in order to know how to relax and let go. and to restore the energy in your solar plexus that you need to ascend one more level to the heart chakra. Because that is why you're going through these turbulent times. As you go through a turbulent times, you're spiraling upward. You always spiraling upward. As you spiral downward in the root chakra, your starting point, you got to turn around and spiral back up till you get to the crown chakra or the Christ chakra. This is how this works. You ain't gonna figure it out. You just gotta let it go. You just gotta let it go and let the information come through you. The mind, we connected to the mind. We connected to the all-knowing, the universal mind. So it's gonna tell us and guide us through all of this. And it was ancestors before us, descending masters, ascending masters, masterminds, sages, scribes, prophets, philosophers, scientists before us that left us all this information. That's another thing. Too much information gonna drown a lot of y'all. Moses ain't gonna be able to save y'all from that.
Oh my God.
Listen, get your lane that feel good to you. And don't worry about what nobody else say. Moses dealt with water. He was born in water, then he went down the Nile, then he parted the Red Sea. He dealing with water. Let's talk about Moses then, since y'all don't understand what I'm talking about. Draw out. Well, what you do? You put a bucket in the water and you draw it out. That's the symbolism of Moses within us. Draw out all the negative stuff, all the wrong thinking, all the beliefs, all the traditions that don't have no spiritual weight. See, that's what we got to do. That's what this all about. Drawing out that which is not good and usable in the eternal realm. Yeah, because a lot of times we thinking that we got to carry some of this stuff with us. No, you got to learn how to draw out some of this old stuff and put some new stuff in, because if you don't, you're not going to go to that next level. So that's why you got to stop getting angry when you're going through, and getting frustrated and being jealous and all this stuff. Why my life for that? You got to stop all of that. When it's your time to go through, just accept it. Because when them blessings coming in, you accept them. You accept them. When that money flowing like you want it. Thank you. Thank you. Soon that turbulent time come in, oh my God, you can't see nothing. Why? Because you don't, the five senses don't blind you. That's what it say. Take the beam out of my eye. Before I take, what it say? I take the plank out of my eye before I take the beam out of. You get blinded by these five senses. When them things start happening. Because you really think you this body. That's when you need to do a spiritual examination. Because you ain't this body. And it don't matter. You are sent down here on assignment and you're going to be properly took care of. Have confidence in that. And when you have confidence in that, you're going to get tested. So you got to go through it. You got to go through it. And I'm telling you because I experienced it. I ain't telling you somebody told me or somebody say, oh, bro, you know, this is, hey, no, no. Firsthand experience. Mastermind. That's why I am that. Because I know what's going on. And when I know what's going on, I ain't got to believe. So I take it in stride and I humble myself. So whatever the navigation, let me go back to Moses. With negation, universal negation. Y'all look that word up. Universal negation. That's dealing with water, navigating. When the universe going through DaVirgo and trying to find out what we can get up out of DaVirgo, it's just the spirit that's moving all in me and stuff. I learned to sit still. Let it probe. Let it go through what it got to go through to get this mess out of me. Because my end goal, I'm going back to the source where I came from. I'm going to leave this body. I'm going to leave all this material world. Right here. But me, the self, the I am, the Christ, is going that way to the source. So whatever I have to go through, I'm willing to and I'm happy to. And that's what I'm telling you. Don't let it blind you. I should have made this blinded by 5 senses. And say, the birth of Moses represents man's development. The birth of Moses represents man's development in consciousness. You always going through development stage every day, every second. Your consciousness is always going through. The birth of Moses represents man's development in consciousness of the law of his being. From the negative side. Well, what is the negative side? Wrong thinking. That what you see in front of you is reality. It's not. It's the appearance that's tricking everybody. This is what you tap into the 5 senses with. What you see in front of you. Wrong. This is the effect, what you see. We need to go back to the cause beyond the veil. And that's what people don't understand. We looking at this, everything happening, all this, and the 5 senses is hitting us dead in the face. That's why making us feel, making our central nervous system go whack. And we sit in dark places in our lives for years. When all we had to do, shut our mouth and relax and be grateful we going through it. And we'll be soon through it. From the negative side, water represents universal negation. But water also represents the great possibility. Out of seemingly negative conditions comes the new growth. Listen, if you just sit down and let this thing happen within you, new growth. I'm going to give you a prime example. When you plant a seed, when you plant a seed, before that seed become a sprout, it go through what we call a mitosis. It start breaking all up and going through, we can call it chaos. And then once it break all up and start rooting, going down, or spreading out, then the sprout comes up. Now we got order. Or we can say it like this: tension while it's breaking all up, and then we got relaxation when it becomes a sprout. This is what we're dealing with. And ain't nobody on this planet gonna get around this law. It's law. Development. That's what Moses mean, development. But we're dealing with water when you deal with Moses. And you got to remember, they still do the ceremony right now. They still do it. When a corporation or a people buy a new building, they have a ceremony of the red ribbon, and they cut it. One side go this way, one side go that way, and they enter into the new building. Let me say it again. Moses parted the Red Sea. When they cut the ribbon on a new building, the rhythms go this way, and they go into the building. They going into their promised land, into Canaan. That's how you play with these scriptures. This is the way we're supposed to be dealing with these scriptures. But everybody gotta find their path. And that's where I go back to. Stop listening to a million people. Find a person that your soul, mind, and body resonate with. And then you can learn and get in your lane. What you good at. What you know that you know that you know. And you stay in that lane. Because that is going to be the way to your promised land. It's 8 billion people on this planet, and ain't none of us identical. Everybody got their own lane. Ain't that amazing? Just think about 8 billion people, and ain't none of us identical. And we all got our own lane. That's amazing. Just think about it. When we are in the seemingly Egyptian darkness and weak as water, we are ripped for the higher understanding. See, you going through all of this chaotic darkness to get a higher understanding of your higher self. You ain't elevating without it. You ain't never, you stay in peace now. You stay on that peaceful side and see how far you go. You ain't gonna climb that mountain. So when you go, you ain't gotta deal with the tension, but one way. Shut your mouth, close your eyes, and fold up into your energy pose and let it do what it do. And keep loving people. Keep loving yourself. Respect yourself. Because that's what your solar plex deal with. Self-respect. Self-ambition. That's what that deal with. And the opposite is criticism and, other things. But the power that is in you is being stored up for you to make it to the heart chakra, to your promised land. Because if you don't came over the root chakra, and I know people that read the Bible ain't gonna understand all of this, but listen to it over and do some research. If you don't made it through the root chakra and you don't made it up to the solar plex, then the next chakra should be simple to make it. You midway. You midway. And all you got to do to get over to that promised land is be grateful and just humble. And you'll make it. You'll make it. Let me see what else I got. All right, I'm gonna do this. Now Moses was leading the children of Israel to their promised land. Listen what it say, who the children of Israel is. The children of Israel, the thoughts of reality or the true ideals about being that has to be brought out into every part of man consciousness. That's what Moses' job was, to draw it out. The children of Israel, bring them out. And we got to get all. It didn't say just pieces. It say all thoughts or true ideals into every part of our consciousness. These thoughts are brought down from the land of Canaan into Egypt. And for a season or submerged in the fleshly realm or thoughts in form. And what it's saying, basically, in a nutshell, when we go down to the darkness for our good, and when we merge back up, we better. Spiritually, consciously, subconsciously, superconsciously, solar, universal. So when you in your dark place in that Egyptian, just be peaceful and let the process take place. And when you emerge back into the marvelous light, you will be better, because you don't reach the heart chakra. And when you reach that heart chakra, blessings, you in the land of milk and honey, because the next chakra's on up. You mastermind. Know thyself, love thyself, and be true to thyself. Peace and one love. And thank you all for liking and sharing the video and coming over today. Thank you so much. Peace.